In this video, I'm going to show you how to bring in parts from outside of Fusion. So for this video, we're going to bring in a part from McMaster Carr. McMaster Carr is a company that we order parts from occasionally. And if you remember back to when we were creating the drive wheel, the hub from Andy Mark, the hub to the Andy Mark high traction wheels, we placed there, but there are no screws in there. So I found some screws in the room that we can order from McMaster Carr. So let's go ahead and do that now. I'm going to turn off everything but the drive wheel right. I'm going to make drive wheel right my active component, and inside the drive wheel right, I'm going to make invisible everything except for those two Andy Mark pieces, just to make this easier to see what's going on. Okay, to bring in a part from McMaster Carr, we're going to click on Insert, the top menu bar, and Insert McMaster Carr Component. This will open up the website from McMaster Carr, and what we want is a screw. So I'm going to use the search to find a screw. Now the thread size of the screw I'm looking for is 10 by 24. So under thread size, select 10 by 24. Next, it's asking me for the length of the thread portion, and that is 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to scroll down until I find 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to grab that one. And the type of screw I have, and I already have these in the room, but I'm just finding them to add to our model, is a hex screw. And then if you scroll down nearly to the bottom, I believe it's the second to the last one. And these are, I know these are for cutting metal. They are thread cutting screws for metal, but they work just fine in the plastic. I tried them out. We scroll down until we see the package number there. So it looks like we can get 100 of them, I believe, for about $10. Let's see. Yep. About $10 for a package there. If you click on product details, that will bring us to that particular screw, and the details, if we look down below, we have 3D models here. Now the default is SolidWorks. We want the 3D step file. So just below SolidWorks, make sure that says 3D step, and then click on save. That is going to bring that piece into our project. I'm going to rotate that over 90 degrees just so it's easy to see the shaft there. Let's bring it down a little closer to where I'm working. And I want to make 2 more of these. I'm going to go every other screw hole here and put a screw in there. Nice way to do that. Make sure it's definitely on there. So joint, we're going to capture that position, creating a joint between the shaft of this. What's really cool about these McMaster Carr parts is that they also have the threading in there. If I wanted to 3D print this, it would print with the threading. A lot of times when you're making something in Autodesk Fusion 360, it will default to a skin of threading, but the shaft will still be smooth. Here, they actually have that threading in there. So you can't grab those threads. What we need to do is grab the underside of the head of the screw and then that inner ring. Okay, and then let's insert it into one of these upper holes here to attach it. And of course, we need to flip that over. There we go. It's exactly what we want. I'm going to cancel out because I haven't made my copies yet. So let's go ahead and make our copies. Copy. Going to paste one in there. Try to capture that position. There we go. 1. Copy. Let's paste in another copy. So we've got 3 copies. All right. Now let's go ahead and join those using our joint tool. Inner ring of that head. There we go. And we're going to place these so they are spaced every other hole there. Our joint tool. Inner ring there. Every other one there. Let's move this out of the way. Flip that around. Very good. And last one. Okay, so I've done this for those 3 screws are in there now. Let's turn on the pieces. Make sure there's no interference. Great thing about building this virtually is that you can see if there's any interference or not before you build it in the real world. That looks perfect. Very good. Okay, let's turn on the rest of the components. Exact same process for the drive wheel. Left, make sure you make that your active component, and then you can go ahead and bring in those screws from McMaster Carr. There it is. I'm going to go up here to Insert McMaster Carr component. Again, we're looking for a screw. Thread size is 10 by 24. The length is 3/4 of an inch. Hex for the head type. And then scrolling down, second from the bottom is the screw that we want. And that product number, if you just want to put in the product number, is 96024A23. Product details, scrolling down to the bottom, selecting 3D step file and save. That's going to bring it into our workspace. I'll rotate this 90 degrees the other way. I'm going to switch my view around here in just a moment. Make this easier to see. Okay. Go exactly opposite on that cube. Where did the screw go? Let's go ahead and move that closer to my work area. That looks a little better right there. Okay. And under drive wheel, I'm going to turn off everything except for the screw and those Andy Mark pieces. And then I'm going to make 2 copies. The screw copy, Control V to paste, making sure to capture that position. One of them, Control V again to bring in a third. Okay, let's make those joints. I'm going for that head and the inner ring of underside of that head. There we go. Oops, zoom back out. There we go. It's a flashy animation there. I'm going to pan back over. I've lost the center. There we go. Escape from using the pan tool. J for the joint tool. Zooming into the inner loop of that head. Oh, there it is. It's not cooperating. There we go. That's a flashy animation. Look at that. Panning back over again one last time. Escape out of using pan tool. J for joint. Inner circle of, there we go. Underside of that head and last screw in place. Okay. I'm going to turn everything back on and take a look at the results. And there we go. Those McMaster Carr parts are in place.